Welcome to Content Breaker, featuring Static Dreads, Kaiju Kelz, Strangely Entertaining, and Zogbert. Today's episode is Castlevania Season 4. Castlevania Season 4. Castlevania Season 4.
Hello, people. It is your boy, Static Dreads, here with Content Breaker and the crew, which is Content Breaker. We are joined today by the awesome Zog, bow before him, the Kelz with a camera that we've never actually seen but allegedly exists, and entertainingly strange is my friend.
Hi.
How are you? Today.
The reason you never saw the camera is because he's always behind it recording you.
True.
But it says with the camera.
Capturing all the footage.
Nah, man, the camera disintegrated in the sun.
Oh. Fuck.
Tragic.
And I'm next.
And you're next? Okay.
Farewell.
Yeah. Today, something else is disintegrating in the sun, and that is vampires, because we are here talking about the acclaimed Season 4 of Castlevania, the Netflix series, which
It was acclaimed?
I gotta say, I claimed it, yeah. I'm sure it's won awards. Like, it has to have won something. Like, we'll look into if Netflix qualifies for, like, daytime Emmys and stuff like that, but it should, but who knows, because it's not broadcast. But yeah, guys, how are you? How you feel like watching Season 4? Like, did it entrance you? Did it enveil you? Wait,
What?
I think it was a really good. It was a really good wrap up for everything that was going on with Castlevania, the Netflix series. Like, with all of the drama and very real shit behind the creator of the Netflix series, like having them finish it out and still be like such a quality conclusion was impressive in my mind.
no, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
True. I'm happy we got it. It had some of the best moments throughout the whole series. Even though I can't say this season is my favorite season, it definitely had some of the best moments.
I will say, like, I'm glad it was as good as I had. Like, I definitely have my nitpicks, and I guess we'll get to that later. I guess when we talk about like nitty gritty stuff. But overall, I'm actually quite surprised at how well it turned out to be, knowing the drama and everything.
Yeah. I'm like, there was some drama with the writer, Elephant in the Room, who allegedly did something. It was never confirmed. It was always allegedly. And because of that, he got axed. But he was already writing Season 4, so they let him conclude that. And I'm really happy, for the sake of the story. I'm not in anybody's personal business, nor should I feel like that should be the business of the overall product. But I'm happy that we got that wrap up with this product, because it's always weird when they change writers. For instance, look at the latest Star Wars trilogy that we got. 3 different writers. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that.
2 different writers, 2 different directors, a whole bunch of uncohesive. Oh God.
Yes. But yeah. Anyway, so quick recap of the Castlevania series. Dracula bad, but not bad, but has a son who's good, but does not know if he's truly good, but good. Meets Seeker, girl, Sith, who meets Belmont, who are traditional
Sypha.
monster hunters in the world of Castlevania. And they form a coalition to kill Dracula. They kill Dracula, and this sets up all these sequence of events of everybody trying to, as we find out in the first 5 minutes of Season 4, everyone's trying to resurrect Dracula. And
Why would they do that?
like,
Who wants
Why
to
would
do
you
that?
bloody do that? Would you do that? Would you do that? I wish I could kill you again. I wish I could kill you twice.
Probably the best line in the entire series.
So
Yes.
great.
I'm not gonna lie, it was gold. But we've made it through. This is the final arc for all these characters. Trevor, Silva, Alucard, the Vampire
Sypha.
Sisters.
You keep saying Silva. It's Sypha.
Sypha, sorry.
Sypha.
Kind of like
Sypha,
Cypher, but A at the end instead of a R.
Yeah.
Sypha, Alucard, Vampire Sisters, Hector, and Isaac. Okay. So
Sure.
yeah. But yeah, so we've seen let's just get into it. So it starts with we see what everybody's been up to. Sypha and Trevor. Did I say it right?
It's so salty about it.
No, I
That's right. That's right. Keep it rolling.
Sypha.
Yeah, it's Cypher. She started cussing. Yes.
Yes. So Sypha and Trevor are out here continuing the hunt to clean up all the mess that is like the remnants of Dracula dying because his army's out of control. So we see that they're out here chasing down these people who are trying to resurrect Dracula in the world, all these cults, dark demonic stuff after the events of season 3, where they're
Death
basically
himself.
like everyone is, basically shit. These people are like the town leader was killing little kids in the forest. Like,
And for some reason, keeping their shoes.
yes. That's very weird. And then you see Alucard, who is still, living life with the stakes of the two people who tried to murder him. After they
Much more than that.
did stuff to him. Episode 9, season 3.
He basically went from 2 people to an entire garden's worth of impaled corpses.
Yeah, I mean, habeas corpus,
What?
Yeah, seize the day or seize the bodies with
No,
giant wooden
no.
stakes.
That is
due
not
process.
what that is.
Due process is not carpe diem.
Oh, my
Anyway,
bad.
he became a drunkard for a while, super depressed, and then he found his purpose.
Yes.
Bro, I'm still waiting on my purpose.
Hey,
Sorry.
have you gotten drunk? It's a
Wait,
long
are you
while,
saying are you saying the reason I haven't found it is because I haven't gotten drunk enough?
I think you haven't murdered 16 people yet and also been like half vampire. But hey, you know what?
True,
There's still
true.
time.
Or have a magic sword familiar.
Yeah. Or can turn
Maybe
into
you
a
guys-
wolf or bats.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
Or an equal opportunity lover. Yeah.
Bro, shout out
See,
to that.
I didn't
Maybe
say
that's
anything
the
about
real
that.
secret. Maybe that's the real secret because we find out later about the village leader is in that same boat, which is why they
love
connect.
her. I love her.
Yeah.
Greta big goals. So yeah, and then we go to the vampire sisters who are just like Camilla or Carmela, whatever you want to call her.
Camilla.
Is just is just living her best worst life in her red dress that she never given a change.
I'd definitely say worst.
Yeah. That's what I said. Best worst life.
She thinks it's great, but God, she needs a reality check.
Yeah. No, we see
Hey,
the
someone
division
call
that-
Isaac.
Yeah. So we see the division that she's causing between her sisters. We see that there's like 3 different sanctions. There's Carmela and her golds. There's Lenore and her pet Hector and pet sex toy, same thing. And then there's
It depends
the
on what you're
other 2
into.
sisters whose names always escape me. But they know who they are. They're the vampire sisters. Who are in love. So I guess they're not actually sisters.
Well,
or
no,
maybe they are.
there's Striga who has a girlfriend, and then there's also what's her face. Where is what?
No,
She's not
Striga
even,
and
she's not
the
even
second
listed
one.
in this. No, wait, Lenore. There you go.
No,
I said
Lenore's the
Lenore.
diplomat.
Who has Hector as a pet.
Okay,
Right.
gotcha. I thought you were like. Okay.
No, I'm trying to think of Striga's significant other who I can't.
the strategist.
Yeah.
Oh, Morana.
Yeah, Morana.
Morgana?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, Morana.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone's
They
like,
don't,
yeah, sure.
they don't really do much, so I
Yeah.
don't really know.
That was actually one of my little nitpicks I was gonna actually talk about. I was like, oh, glad they were here, I guess. Maybe.
Look, their purpose was to set up their Berserk spinoff so that they can go off and have a second series and keep cashing in.
Is that what that was? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Oh,
I was just like, why?
that
like,
day
this
armor
was-
scene. That day armor scene was purely the studio saying, "Hey, we can do Berserk. Why don't you give us a chance at doing Berserk?"
No, like that
Yeah.
was cool. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I was just like, was that like pointless or like what's happening? It was.
Uh,
Yeah. And then, we've got Isaac, our boy, who is the unsung hero of season 4 and the series. So yeah, they're all out here doing their own things. And like you said, we get to see the sisters go and try and reclaim more land to get kind of Carmilla's dream into fruition. Like, because Morana is the one, she's a strategist. Like, Carmilla is basically the dreamer. She basically can't do anything by herself except dream and have...
She's the driving force. She's the one who motivates all of them to do her schemes.
Yeah, but, she's useless without Lenore, the diplomat, Striger, the muscle, and Morana, the strategist. So.
Yeah, the other 3 are the competent ones who know what they're doing.
Yes, and they're starting to realize that, this is not going to work out. Like, we're going to, these humans...
This plan is dumb. How about we not?
Yeah, so we see that these humans, when we get a really good look at, just the philosophical side of the series, when Morana and Striga are in the camp, and they're like, these humans, we could kill them for days. They could come for miles. They're not going to give up. This is an endless war. And it's really cool to hear that, little dialogue on the morality of humans, because vampires really shouldn't have anything to fear. You realize this is what makes the humans a fighting, driving force in the world. They're sheep, they're prey, but they're prey that fights back. And I really like that. I felt like that was their role, Strange. I know you said you felt like they didn't do a lot.
Well,
but I feel like between...
in that term, in that scene, sure. But I just meant,
but
in the overall plot of things, I'm not saying it's bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
I didn't say you said it was bad.
It just didn't contribute much to what was actually happening. If you would cut that scene out, all of their scenes out, and just never mention them, we wouldn't have missed a damn thing.
I know, but I feel like personally. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I felt like you saw what happened when Camilla was on her own. She couldn't do it. I feel like seeing, even though, you say these other 3 characters aren't integral.
No, not the 3, just the 2.
Okay.
The 2 who, with Lenore there actually being the mediator between Hector and Carmilla, you got all you needed. We got the message. We got the point.
I mean, I feel like they got a little short. They got the short end of the stick because, the whole thing was they were the 4 sisters who, got their country to where it was, but then Camilla was left alone and started scheming beyond what they could hold, and they were the 2 of them were supposed to be the ones who enforced it, right? So the only reason we got the whole thing with Lenore still being around was because she was of no use anymore. And that's part of the thing with her character in this season. We get to see her dealing with this because the other 2 were out implementing the plan that was fucking crazy, but they were still trying to do it.
Ideally, it would be Carmilla makes the plan, Lenore sets up the plan, the other 2 do the plan. But Carmilla kept planning. But
the issue there is Lenore is the diplomat, convincing people that is the right plan.
Yes.
But at this point, the plan's grown beyond the convincing. It's in the now. We are going to just take and drink and kill. We don't need to convince you that we're right and just because we don't have to. We're just going to do it.
We're fucking vampires. We'll just drink you.
Which is the tragic part about those other 2 because they get so little influence on the story. Their whole scene is simply wrapping up their story thread. Saying, well, this is what these 2 characters are going to go do. They're going to go fuck off because that whole shit over there.
Yeah, they said,
no. What really hurts it is that they didn't really have a whole lot of screen time and a whole lot of anything to do in the 3rd season either, where they were introduced. And I think that's where the whole problem comes from. We finally got something for them, and it did jack all for the overall story, and is really just set up for something we don't know if we're even gonna get.
I personally feel like that. I feel like that's what it was. It was just the setup for their series. And I know we have a spinoff series confirmed. and I think it's going to be the story of whatever that dude's name is.
Simon.
The S. Yeah, Simon. Like that's what they had confirmed it as. But also I think they have opened the door for Stryker and Morgana to get a series, and also a Devilman Cry series by the same studio, even though that's not like this,
Devilman.
Yes, or sorry, Devilman Cry.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be lit. Oh my
About to say, we already had Devilman Cry, baby, and yes, holy shit, I want more of that, but I don't know what else you could possibly do with that.
I feel like I'm the only person who was not super hype about that anime, but yeah. So, and we've got some other characters that we met too in this season, like Greta, who is the councilwoman, or is that name?
I thought she was just like
which one are you talking about?
Greta,
the one from the village of Alucard.
Chieftain, that's what it was. Chieftain was the name.
Okay, Alucard's side story.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay. For a second there, I confused her with Sypha and Belmont's thing.
Oh no. So,
and I was about to say no, she sucked. But no, Greta actually is pretty cool. I like Greta.
No, I love Greta. Like, and I love how she's like, I don't care what you got going on in this little castle and your daddy issues. Like, you gonna help my people or not?
It's like,
and
we living in the here and now. Let's get now figured out, and then we can worry about all that other shit.
And I love the fact that Alucard just whispers every line this season.
He really did. Funny side story. While I'm remembering it, Tina, because she has not seen it yet, my wife, she really came in and like I paused it kind of like when it was either close up or behind, and she it was like a pan shot or something like that, and she was like, "Wow, that's a really she's pretty," and I was like, "That's a dude." She's like, "Oh." It was funny.
I'd stand by it.
It was funny.
Alucard is a very pretty man. He is drawn very well.
I want him and Greta to like have a child so I can see what the hell that child would look like.
I'm sure they will.
Brunette Alucard?
Goten? 1/4 vampire?
Oh God.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining the Goten version of this so much now that I want it.
Lord.
That would be freaking great.
I feel like Greta is the only human we see doing actual damage to a night creature in this series. I could be wrong, because I think the underground people did some stuff
if
too.
If you don't count either Belmont or Sypha.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. They're not like, I mean like just
the non-main characters.
Who the hell are you? Yeah, like
heck, even like Isaac.
I mean, listen. Isaac is not a human being. Okay, we will get to Daddy Isaac here.
He is
soon,
a forge master, and you will speak his title.
Yes, he is a forge master, a psychologist, a philosopher. He is a executioner. He is Isaac.
Mostly that first and last one.
Yes. So yeah, we got Greta, and the thing that gets me about we just see that Germain, like literally the pissant of the series, has just been chilling over here in Dynasty. He's like, hey, it's me.
Hey, I'm here now.
Germain.
I jumped out of their story and into yours.
I am Germain, scholar. Whatever else the heck I could make up on the spot.
Scholar, philanthropist, and everything you fucking need. So let's go.
And I was here for Germain. He was really aggravating me this whole series. I'm not gonna lie, because
I liked him in season 3. I didn't like him so much in this season, but
when his story revolved around finding this mystical thing so he could find someone he cared about. Yeah, you know what? I can understand that. That's a quest I can root for. I believe in you, Saint Germain. Oh, you're gonna murder a whole bunch of people so you can summon a demon that will just do everything for you. Suddenly I don't care for you.
That demon that happens to turn out to be the literal spirit of death.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
That was. I don't think he knew that though up until that point. That was
that
was a bit of a twist. And I literally had to pause and go excuse me, say what?
Well, they had a singular callback. So earlier in the season, we see this statue that people were sacrificing other people in front of. Mm-hmm. That
you think
Belmont was like, Oh, that's the representation of death.
Yeah.
It's just a natural spirit.
You think it's
shit.
a cult to Dracula, but instead they took out a cult to the closest thing to death that exists in a physical form, supposedly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Their explanation is weird, so that's the closest I could get.
And then you have crap, lost my train of thought. You also had a callback in the barn fight when they're fighting the night creatures and Trevor picks up a scythe. That was also that wasn't a callback, that was a foreshadowing.
Sort of. I honestly wish that he had, they had used those fights for him using like the mystical objects he used later. Instead of, just pick up some mystical objects and use them in a fight.
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind like the debut of those being the final fight. Like
I didn't mind I didn't mind that they were all put together and then you got the like super powered, this is how this works kind of thing. I would just rather have them had a little bit more like emphasis to them. Like maybe even just a line or two of dialogue saying like, why are you picking these things up? They have more value than you think, kind of thing.
That's what he said when he was in there.
I think he did. He alluded to something. He's like, it could come in handy for later. I remember him saying something along those lines, like early on.
When Cypher asked why he was picking that up, he's like, do you know what this is?
He did that about a single knife that was just in an armory when he's looting these people who are basically starving. But have riches all around him. No one says anything, and he's just like, ooh, ha.
But didn't you just say that's what you wanted, though?
No, I wanted more. I wanted him to, like, Cypher or someone else to look at him and be like, why are you taking that shit? What is that going to do? Besides just one item. I wanted something, like, a little bit more, even if that little bit was just asking another question.
So more explanation about what he was picking up?
Yes, essentially.
So I feel like they kind of did. So he picked up the one cross knife thing that he used.
Yes, but that was for something different.
Yeah, but also, so he was like, oh shit, so they broke it up. Which played into the final scene, like the final showdown. But yeah, I guess a little more emphasis on the importance of surprise picking up literal garbage.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
if it was going to be the
yeah,
thing that took out, if it was going to be basically the Deus Ex Machina that took out the final boss for him, tell me a little bit more about it instead of just, hey, this is how the thing works. By the way, this is why it existed.
This final season definitely felt a little more video gamey than like usual.
That's because it had the most callbacks to all the video games.
It was definitely especially Death being the final boss and him finding random items and putting it together. It was definitely, I was like, wow, this feels like a whole video
a lot of the night creature designs and everything. It had basically all of the callbacks they were planning to do throughout their entire run. And I think they were planning on having a 5th season because by the halfway through, it kind of feels like it becomes super rushed to get to that ending.
I'm not going to lie. I actually felt the same way. I was like, I felt like they were planning for another season, but it just kind of like, and I can't remember,
but they had to,
drama happens.
Like
they even said that.
Look, I'm not complaining and I'm not like, I love what we got. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, but also because of what like our degrees are in and stuff, we know like, yes, I see,
Yeah. But also just talking about the experience I had with it is just, that's what I felt like. That's what I observed. So
yeah, no, there's nothing matter with that at all. I'm just saying like that is a fact. Like it, I don't know. For me, the pacing felt,
that's fine.
It felt like it fit the urgency of the season. Like there were things that they had to do quickly because of the time constraints and things happening. I felt like
part of this whole show is they tend to show more than tell. And to your point, like there was only so many episodes. They didn't have a lot of time to show the importance of this.
Yeah, which is a detriment to the show itself, but
Yeah.
I don't think it was a detriment.
Overall, well, considering that's usually how they do things, and then suddenly they can't do them, the feeling, the pacing, the feeling, and everything the show has done before, just, it's off when you change it so suddenly like that. But at the same time, I think they recover for the big moments, like when, say, Isaac fights Carmilla, or the fight through the castle when the trio's back together, stuff like that. They recover just enough to make those moments have the impact that they want them to have.
I was like, for me personally, I felt like I felt like this season 4 was. I don't really have any complaints about it. Like, I know you can always fake analytical complaints about everything, but in terms of like, go ahead.
I say it's not so much a complaint; it's just an observation. But I don't feel like it detracts from the series. Like, this will go down as one of my favorite series. Like, looking back, I will have fond memories on it. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
No, of course. I'm saying that, and I'm not saying that anybody is complaining. I'm just saying, like, I personally, like, for knowing what we could have got and what I've seen in a lot of other mediums, like, I am overjoyed that they completed the horse, which is, the whole thing of, like, season 1 being strong, season 2, 3, and 4. Like, I don't think we had a weak season of Castlevania. Like, there was, of course, season 1, the setup with 4 episodes because it was supposed to be a movie. Yeah. But overall, like, I think it's been a really good series, and I feel like this season was a good homage and like closing point of that, because like I said, Saint Germain coming through with the portals and seeing seeing his story, like what he went through, like in the way that they told it, of how it had just been a couple of months, but we got to go back and see, like, to me, Death being the final villain, like, we saw that he was there the whole time. Like, even when that, like, it was foreshadowed when the, like, Russian vampire was, like, kind of talking to Tragi or Tragi, whatever his name is, the long-haired one.
No, I know. Hold on. Varney.
Varney?
Yeah, Varney. Yeah.
Varney of London.
Yeah, that's because Varney was Death.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you see that the foreshadow for Varney being Death was when Varney told that vampire, I keep you around because you feed death. I was like, and then when the big reveal happened, I was like, yo, like all this stuff was flowing back into me. I was like, okay, I really like what they did here. I felt like they didn't utilize as you said, the show aspect that they hadn't so much, but they utilized like foreshadowing a lot more in this season, which I felt like was a good payoff at the end.
Yeah, but that's also why I feel like they not only expected, they wanted more episodes and more time, another season or whatever to do it with. Because imagine if they had extra time to explore some of this stuff or give more foreshadowing or show some of the things happening rather than just telling us about some of it.
I mean, yeah, but like at the same point, like what would you have wanted? Like,
I mean, so in terms of Varney, like, I didn't really see Varney as the surprise bad guy of the show. Yeah. Like, maybe I should have. Maybe I should have been like more skeptical. But
no, I didn't
felt
either.
Kind of comic relief, and I didn't expect the comic relief to be the world's worst the evil force.
What really got me is that he's the unfunny comic relief. He's just this dude trying to be like, oh, I'm either funny or I'm intimidating. Yeah. I'm funny to the audience, but intimidating to everybody. I'm the butt of the joke.
Yeah,
but the jokes aren't funny.
No, I mean, I don't think the jokes were supposed to be funny. Like, at least to me.
Well, I mean, it's his effort in trying to gain recognition as this like hot shit vampire, and the only one that recognizes him is Saint Germain.
No, I thought it was Hector.
Hector never meets him.
Hector has
Hector was like, don't trust him.
Like, no one knows who Varney of London is except for Saint Germain.
Yeah.
Yes, but Hector says when he's going through this whole precautions, he's like, I have to go. When the things like the night raids happen about Isaac, he says, don't trust Varney.
So Varney works with Isaac But when he's like, I'm Varney of London, Hector's like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, no one knows who Varney is throughout the whole thing, even though he acts like he's top shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, but like Hector sees that there is something more to Varney than everybody else. Like, everybody else just sees him as a butt of joke, but Hector's like, do not trust him. Like, no one else noticed this?
Sure. Well, I mean, I would say that it was like, he's a fucking vampire and we're humans. Like, how far can, like, don't trust him as far as you could throw him, but not like he's secretly gonna be the world's worst villain. I didn't see that coming as a foreshadow.
I mean, me neither, but like, I'm just saying, like, it was like aware that like he's up to something, like besides what he's doing, which I thought that was interesting as a point to Hector's character, like that he was the only one to see that, showing how smart and how valuable he is as a tactician, as well as he was able to plant all those traps inside of Carmela's dwelling.
Yeah,
everything.
But those traps lead to that point way more than anything else. The fact that he's just like, hey, this mysterious benefactor that we are both trying to work with, don't trust him. I'm like, but why though? Oh, that's why. An episode later, I find out about all of this. Wow, that was quick. Why do we even bother with that?
I mean, I guess I think maybe the root of your argument there is, Kai, that it's more of a factor of Hector's growth and awareness of not being as naive as when
Carmela
Lenore suckered him into getting the slave ring. Like, he now knows how to play the game and what to be aware of.
He knows how to play the Game of Thrones.
Oh no!
Please, just
the great game. It's the game of houses now. You plebeian. You are not ready. Anyways, but no, I certainly, like, as a factor of like Hector's character growth. Yeah. Like him recognizing Varney's up to no good, even though like the face value act is in line with everything else.
Yeah, everybody's just like,
I feel you.
Yeah, I think that's may have been where I was trying to lead to, was just the fact that like everybody is, Isaac and Hector were definitely, this was definitely their season of growth. I felt like, even though like Alucard and Sypha, yes, Sypha had growth as well, and even Trevor, you know, but like Isaac and Hector, like Isaac was on some Mewtwo level shit. I feel like he was sitting here like, he was like, I realized that a weapon can be a tool. He's sitting here talking to this fruit fly, like just being like, yo, have a berry. And the fruit fly is like, I want a berry. I'm going to go kill little Sally down the street.
I feed on flesh,
Isaac
not
said
berries.
It was great.
Just enjoy life, man.
Yeah, the way Isaac said it was great. He's like, here, have a berry. And he's like, what?
Like, I'm not gonna lie, after I watched that episode, I was like, I think I'm gonna go to the store and buy some strawberries.
I want some berries now.
Like,
no particular reason.
I really loved how Isaac was a whole manifestation of like his trials and tribulations as he got to the point of where he's at. Like, he took stuff from the boat captain, from the lady in the village. You know, he also realized that, you know, instead of like, he was like, instead of killing humanity, why don't I just rule them? Why don't I build something up? Which caused him, when he confronted Hector, the person he felt all this animosity to and who he wanted to kill and all this stuff. He's like, you know, that's like, I'm sick of being a pawn. I'm sick of being a tool. Like, I'm going to think for myself. And I really, really, really messed with that. And then that same note, you got to see Hector was being a slave. He was doing all this. He was entrapped. Like, Lenore tricked him. Carmela tricked him. And he was like, yo, Isaac, I understand. I'm ready to die. I'm not going to run. He's like, but the only thing you're not going to do is kill my vampire baby mama. Like, that was like, and I really messed with that romance, which I will get into later. But hey, symbolics, bruh. Symbolics.
Sure, yeah.
She will live on forever in his book.
Yes.
More like in his lungs. Haha.
Oh my god. Y'all are horrible. Smoking on that Lenore pack, are we?
Trying to make it last.
By the way. But so like when Isaac cuts off when Hector cuts off his finger, like I'm just like, let's go, man. Like, can we like, and it wasn't just like, he cut off his finger, he go hard. It was like, nah, he had a plan. He had all this. Like I said, he knew Varney was on some skep stuff. He was like, all right, let's go, and the fact that Isaac didn't want to kill him and that they were like, yo, we're adults was so great. And towards the end, which I'll get to that later. So Hector and Isaac's growth. After that, Isaac needs like a wheelbarrow to take his balls through this space tunnel to go find Camilla. Because, Jesus, this man was like, yo, squad, let's go. Like, beautiful demon night creature, where you at? Like, the Brad Pitt of the night creatures.
I know. I was like, what's up with this guy? What's he?
So that's actually his familiar from the games. And I was like, okay. That's why I was like, they paid mad homage to all of the Castlevania games in this one. I think this was SHJ or something special.
I could not tell you. All I know is he's a particular boss character that Hector summons.
Yeah. So yeah, no, Hector's like, let's ball up. Like, on crib then. And Camilla's like, all right, you want to fight? And Isaac's like, not really. I just want to kill you. And I'm like, oh, all right. And you got this like wall of blue, like this is where the animation just so crisp and like snaps, like the fight scene is hitting, like everything is just like the music is hitting too. Like can I call them the OST? Yeah, original soundtrack.
Yeah,
we have this. So the OST is going
definition
in.
fits.
Like you see Camilla just in this pool of blood. Like I really like just the deep blue and the deep red and the characters. Like that was like one of the best. I feel like one of the best fight scenes this year. Like this has to be in the discussion. I feel like
it was pretty good. Like just and the way like Camilla just like goes insane. Her eyes turn like bloodshot red because she's mad because her plan's not going her way. And yeah, just
you're not giving me my way. I'm gonna kill you.
And what I love the most is the complete opposite of Isaac. He's just so calm in this fight. Like. It's like he knows he's winning this fight. Like it's great. Like I have really no complaints about this fight or anything. Just it was choreographed well. The sound was good. I like the usage of different types of animation styles to get the fight to look as clean as it did. And I like how it ended. I like how we got the setup that vampires don't like to get killed. They might die, but they don't like to get killed. So she commits Simbuku and is like, I'm going to stab myself because guess what? I'm not going to become what I hate.
I'm a semi-perfect cell this shit.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, not like hilarious, but it was just like.
No, it was pretty damn funny.
Yeah, it was funny. She's like, but go out my way. Boom.
No, I just thought it was hilarious. I thought it was even more hilarious that she became what she hated. Like,
air?
Like she was. No, like
she vaporized herself.
No, when she was like, I've served old men who want power and do all this and don't know when to quit and blah blah. Like her whole spiel at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
When she was talking to her sisters. I was like, haha, look at you, you became what you hate. So man, I just straight up took over their castle. And then you had Stryker and Morgana like, yeah, you know what? They all probably dead. Peace. I'm like, wow.
Well, we finally made it home and it's on fire.
I'm just go to mad Romania. They were like, Camilla's dead, so Lenore's a bitch, so she's obviously dead. I'm like, wow. I'm like, how you gonna do my girl Lenore like? So they're just like, everybody moved to the left. They just went somewhere. They just went to their sequel series, so they'll probably arrive in a few years.
Better.
Yeah. But then. Like we get the hypity hippity hype fight, like what I feel
How'd
like
that
is
go again?
The hypity hippity hop fight.
Oh, okay. I just
the hypey to the hip hype. Anyway,
yes. I just wanted to see.
So this was in my opinion, next to the fight from season 3 with the like church demon, the portal out of hell. I feel like this was the best fight. It was I don't know, all three like this and the Isaac and Camilla fight were all good. But the Dracula Castle final fight was so good. in my opinion. Because you got Alucard trying to fight these beasts like
freaking storming the castle using every freaking weapon ability,
all his animal forms,
every possible thing at your disposal to not only defend your castle but essentially seize it.
Yeah, and you even get the cinematic shot where this man is about to get axed by this fire-breathing toenail, and like
it really was a fire-breathing toenail.
It was.
Holy crap! I never saw it before.
I was like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing. But like, you got this perfect cinematic shot, and then you see Sypha and Trevor just like gang, and I'm like, the trio's finally back together. Yes, and they do work. Like, you got the Avatar, you got like Trevor Belmont and Alucard, like just doing work, and like, I don't know, man. Like, I was just really excited to see that. I felt like that was like such a clean fight. They utilized everything, and poor little Greta was out. Well, not poor little Greta, but Greta was trying.
Look, I'm sorry, but at that point, when the main trio's back together, all side characters go out the window.
Yeah, you might as well just
you no longer matter. just let the three rage.
No, that was super hype. They did business. And then I love Alucard's recap when he was like, night creature trying to do this. There's a crazy eccentric man in the basement.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
and another one upstairs trying to summon a demon.
Yeah. I'm just like, let's go. And the fact that
he's literally just like, I ain't got time for too many words.
Yeah. And then we see who was that? Like, we saw like these 5 like vampire kings or something, or like whatever they were.
They were like +1 vampires or some crap. They had special
they had cool
powers.
designs though. Yeah,
they're actually like anime only creations. So
yeah,
they weren't ever in the games or anything like that.
No,
which is actually really cool.
No, they were like created just for this, and I was like, okay, like, which again, I feel like that could have gone into what y'all said. If we had more time, we could have like had like these potentially could have been like boss fights in the next season or something. But it was still really cool to see him. Like, we had like Bone Dude and like
Marionette
Raven
Girl
from Teen Titans. Yeah, it's like, it was pretty dope. I was like, okay, like, granted, they all got the axe, which of course they were going.
They were meant to. So
yeah. But no, and then we get like dude who name escapes me. I feel super bad. Not really. Like the Russian one, was that him? Like in the red armor or whatever.
Red
armor. Dragon. Yeah, Dragon. That was him. With like the scale mail stuff. And he was like, yeah, I'm here to like do work. I have bat wings. And I was like, all right, bruh. Like, that was cool. When Alucard sliced him, that was dope. Like, that was some really clean animation, some clean colors. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun, like seeing him get axed. So that fight ends, and of course, then we get the weirdness of like the hermaphrodite being the perfect being that can bring back Lisa and Vlad Tepes.
That is equally the spirit of
Alucard's mom and dad,
Lisa and Vlad Tepes in one body.
Yes. Saint Germain just like, yo, Alucard, I'm gonna bring your parents back to life, but they're only gonna have one body.
Yeah. And he's just like, all right, okay.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, but how about a no though? How about we don't do this?
So, and then we see like,
I mean, hey, we still got like, you know, and I just wanted to point this out. I know we didn't have like a episode 9 from season 3, but in episode 9 there was a little bit of some,
there was
half a zombie titty. Yep. Come on,
we got zombie tit. You're right. So yeah, that was a thing that happened, and then we see Saint Germain being like, you know what, like maybe I fucked up, and I'm just like, yes, Saint Germain, you did.
Yeah.
So then, like, Varney jumps out the mirror, and he's like, it's me. Well, no, no, he'd already been out of the mirror by then. He's like, it's me, Varney, a.k.a. Death. And everybody's like,
you know, I didn't like that they kept his Londony voice when he was in his death form. That was like my only other thing. No, it was weird to me. Death.
It was very weird, but I don't have a better answer. So
I mean, it was Malcolm McDowell.
Like, wasn't the voice the same guy as San Germain?
Malcolm McDougal.
No.
I'm gonna take your word on that, but is that the same voice actor as San Germain?
No, it's not.
I think they were different. Yeah.
The voice actor for Saint Germain is Bill Nye.
The science guy?
No, Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean.
No.
If I got the right guy.
Like,
yes, I have the right guy. Yes, I have the right person.
You just can't be like Bill Nye. Be like, not the science guy. Like,
he's not the science guy though.
Shit.
I'm really disappointed. I was
Bill Nye the Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. I'm just Lord. But
shit, I needed that.
But no, like, so, like, I know how you feel. Like, it would have been cool if, like, Death had some auto tune and a big, like, bassy voice. But the fact that it was
not
Varney,
going with that.
Yeah, I mean, like, but like the fact that it was like Death was.
Yeah, I'm fine with the same
so
voice actor. I just wanted a different accent or something. I don't have a better answer for what they did, and what they did is fine enough that I'm just like, it is what it is. It just felt weird.
Yeah, I will tell you though, the Japanese voice actor was lit because I watched it twice.
How were you such a weeaboo? You watch an American-made animation in Japanese just for the sub.
Like, I feel like that's like rude almost.
I feel like you're upsetting both sides of the fandom.
Wow.
Jesus. Yeah. I mean, okay, enlighten me. How was the sub?
I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to like watch the last episode in English and Japanese. I also watched the last episode in Brazilian. I like Spanish now.
I mean, diversify.
How many languages is it got?
Just start watching Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You said you watched it in Brazilian for the Spanish. That's Portuguese, motherfucker.
Sorry.
I mean, what are you doing?
I'm sorry.
But equally, I mean, yeah.
Such an American.
I know. Forgive me.
But it was lit in multiple languages.
Yeah. The voice of Death was actually Tamani from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Okay. But which one is that?
You're gonna have to give me a little more details here.
He was the one that had the caterpillar type thing. And Diamonds Unbreakable, the short dude. Like the green,
talking about
the green stand.
I know who you're talking about. Echo. Yeah, Reverb, Echo, whatever it is.
With fuck. Who's that character? It's not Kakyoin. It's anyways, different show.
I know who you're talking about now. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember his name. I just remember his stand. I also remember Jotaro's just like, you reliable guy.
Yeah.
From part 5. Anyways.
But no, that's not that.
Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania. So, but yeah, no, he was also caster in Fate Zero. If that helps y'all. But
less than the other one.
Gosh.
Thank you.
I appreciate your effort.
But yeah, so Death was his power set was weird. Yeah, like it was like I was here for it though. Like he was doing work. He was big, ominous, and honestly, I'm still kind of dumbfounded that Trevor won that fight because I'm just like,
which is why I'm just like, tell me more, please. This dagger was used in a sacrificial suicide pact with God. What the fuck does this mean? What does this mean, Trevor?
But like the whole fight was cool because it was an homage to the games as like this arena giant boss.
It was
battle.
definitely the final boss fight. I'm like, yes, I'm here for this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like Death being the final fight, I was like Trevor, like out here on some magical girl ish with the weapons. And I was like, let's go. Like, let's Madoka.
I love how his last words to Cypher was literally just, "Don't name it Trey4. It's a horrible name."
Yeah, it's a horrible name.
Okay, so my dumbass forgot where this joke came from.
Season 2.
Where did the name?
It was from season 2. He would. Cypher had asked him how he got his name, and he told her the story about Trey4, and F for 4, the Roman numeral for V being 5. They named Trevor.
Wow.
Because he was like the 5th descendant from Trey4.
He was Trey 5.
Yeah, essentially. And that's where the nickname Treyfeast came from too.
Man, when they were like, when Alucard was like, yeah, we're naming the village Treyfie.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, bro.
Like,
he's like, really? That's worse.
it was a whole thing. I love the like one-liners in this. This was definitely super funny, and Death coming out at the end and just being like, yeah, I can beat you because I have a magical cross sword. And then
that didn't last too long, actually.
Yeah. So Trevor wins on some. He wins, but he dies. So it's like, yeah. Like fast forward like 2 weeks. So we fast forward 2 weeks, and it's just like, yo, what has happened? So Trevor comes back on a horse because like Saint Germain was like, I'll save you at the last minute. Like Saint Germain was like, I messed up. Like she didn't even love me. Like. So here,
man, I got a big question coming.
Okay,
proceed.
So yeah, the best character of season 4, the horse, saves Trevor.
The horse.
I love how Alucard's just like, I know that horse. Fuck the guy who's on top of it, but I know that horse.
Yeah, because the horse brought the dead body to Alucard, brought Alucard to fight the crab people. Like somehow survived all of it. And then went and found Trevor and brought Trevor back. So, yeah. But, so we see that he comes back and Cypher's like, first of all, Cypher's having this conversation with Alucard and she's like, I'm going to leave because I'm pregnant. And he's like, what? She's like, yeah.
So, then how about though? How about you stay here where a village is?
Yeah. And she's like, nah. So
she's like, nah, but yes, though. Okay.
Yeah. So the horse comes in, and the horse is like, I got your baby daddy. And Trevor's just like, I knew it. And I totally. And he's like, I've done this before. Like, so Trevor just has
how
like
do you
children.
think I stayed single all these years?
Yeah. So Trevor just abandons his children once he has them. So stand up guy. But yeah, Kelz, what was your question? Or was it like at the end?
It's the end,
okay.
Bro.
Okay.
So the ending. Surprise.
Right.
Vlad and Tepish.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Okay. Wrap it up.
So we see Trevor and Sylph are back together, and it's like, yo, we got a child coming. That's what's up. Alucard finally found love in someone who can actually be there for him, unlike his parents or his 2 disciples, or Trevor and Cypher, because they have their own life. He finds Greta, and Greta's like, yeah, I'll be about that life you about.
He also finds a bunch of orphans who see him as a father figure now.
Yeah. And then, like, man, my heart melted when she's like, I know some of the kids have been calling you dad. I'm like, just like, this is what it's all about. So that's happening, and like,
but no, like the wrap up for that whole, like, oh my god, we've actually done it.
Yeah,
everyone
weirdly happy
has an ending.
Yeah, like, and that's what I feel like makes shows so good, is when there is a ending that everyone like. Good. The ending is important. I don't care what anybody says. Like, the ending can make or break a series. I don't care what anybody says.
You know what? I'm actually glad we got a happy ending, because the recent Ruby podcast made me so sad for life that I'm like, yes, everyone's getting a happy ending. I'm so happy right now.
Yes,
we never get these anymore because everyone wants me to be depressed.
Yes,
And I want to talk about
smile
my
at.
favorite ending that might not necessarily be happy. Hector and Lenore. Man, so like
It's a
Lenore's
happy
like,
ending.
what'll happen to me now that Isaac's head bitch in charge and he got big zaddy energy, like with his wheelbarrow.
Well,
And
you see,
Hector's-
you can't leave the castle, but otherwise we get everything we want.
Yeah. So, and then Lenore's like, no, I won't do it. I won't be a cage. I've always done this. I've always done that. She's like, I will not be a prisoner.
I did this with
even for
Carmilla
you.
and the other two. I'm not doing it for him.
Yeah. And she's like, because, and this is important because Hector explains that to her, which is showing, yes, she understood. I was like, yo, it's kind of beautiful. Like, so Hector explains to her this earlier that you are a prisoner with all the freedom in the world. And she's like, no, like, I won't do it. Like, not even for you, the man I love. And I'm like, my heart. Yeah, let's go. So she's like, I think I'll finally take a look at that sunset. And the fact that Hector does not try and talk her out of it. Like, this is one of my favorite things in all of Castlevania Season 4. Like I really love this moment. Like, Hector understands what it's like to be a prisoner. He's been there. So he's like, even though I want
Because
to save you,
of her.
I want to reach for it. Yeah,
Yeah, because
well,
of her.
and other people. Like,
Mostly
don't
her,
forget
though.
his whole past before Dracula saved him. Thank you. So, I mean, was he really a prisoner with Lenore? He had free reign of the castle.
Yes,
He
Yes,
had
he
he
was.
was. Because
She had Putang.
Yeah, that ring.
Okay,
that
listen,
ring
dude.
she slipped on his finger was specifically said to have a slave pact.
Putang. But I guess, yeah.
Putang
You know,
is not
I
the
mean-
answer to all life's problems.
But
that was
vampire
only
Putang.
that was only the answer after the ring was on his finger and he got the fuck out of the dungeon. Remember them days?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. Okay. I'm sorry. Not saying it's right. But anyway, so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna let you do you because I understand. And then she's like, I will finally go see what the sunset is all about. So this is the one time the one vampire can only see sunset once in her life. Once. Only one
Rise.
time. And sunrise, yeah. So she's looking at it, and then she turns away to look at him. The metaphorical sunrise of her life is him. And I'm just like, y'all, this is beautiful. Like, even though she died by her own hands, like, that was still such a beautiful, somber moment. I was like, yo, this is really good. This is really good writing. Like, I really appreciated that a lot. So, even though it wasn't a happy ending for everyone, I still felt like it was a very happy moment. And Isaac just on top of the world right now. Like, so, but yes, now we can talk about the end.
Man, the end. How did it work? So the end is surprise. Vlad Tepish and
Lisa.
Lisa Tepish are alive and in an inn on the road, living their motherfucking lives.
They're like, hey,
as
we
just
finally get a
some
honeymoon.
schmucks.
Let's go.
Yeah, they're not vampires.
Oh, no, he's still a
it's still
vampire.
fucking Dracula,
Yeah.
but like he's not the king of the vampires anymore. He's just Vlad.
Everyone thinks he's dead, so they're just like, as long as no one knows we're alive, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah. So how are they alive? It's kind of fun
know,
that they
fucking
get their own
alchemy.
happy ending.
So
but
my theory is when Saint Germain had opened the Nexus gate, because we see that Dracula and Lisa were in hell, like Dracula was protecting her. We saw that in like I think season 2, or season 3, like when he first
2,
got a glimpse
3,
of the
4,
Nexus.
basically since Dracula died.
Yeah, so we see that he's just chilling in hell with her, and like when the Nexus opens, that portal always seems. So I'm assuming since they were already contacting the spirit with the ring, when Saint Germain was putting all this ish and Death had it open and whatnot, and Trevor was transporting to it, Dracula was able to get out. That's the only thing.
I mean, but
No,
equally, like
well,
how like they didn't
when-
have bodies at that point.
Yeah, that's the point that I find weird, because he forced Lisa and Dracula out of hell and into the hermaphrodite body that he had constructed. So that's what the whole thing was. So when Trevor ended up destroying it, magical bullshit radiated through. That's why half the castle turned into a floating platform, so Trevor could face off against Death. And I guess it also means that they're von Hohenheim from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood kind of shit.
Oh,
Living Philosopher's Stones. I don't know what this is.
Or we could just not think about it too hard and just be like, okay, sure.
Yeah. No, I know. I feel
that.
like I got it. I know how it happens. It happened because family.
So I feel like magical voodoo bullshit is not to be questioned, which is tragic because I want an answer. Because why bring Dracula and Lisa back into this alchemical body just to like fuck with them when you could because that was the whole goal. Why bring them back at all unless we're gonna make use of them? But I don't know. It's just a whole deal. But yes, they're back. Surprise!
They're back. They're
alive.
abandoning their child. All that good shit.
I wasn't mad at it though. Like,
Well,
No,
because
they
would cause more problems.
I get the
than
idea.
not.
They're just like, he's been through enough. He needs his time. He needs his closure. We'll just complicate things. I get it. They're still running out.
I mean, they ran out when one, his mom got lynched, and two, his dad murdered. Like,
this is still leagues better than when his father straight up tried to murder him. But still, it is.
I don't think it was.
It is.
I think they were just choosing to let him be happy. The dude was an adult. Like, he was slanging credit.
Kai, I need your input.
Okay.
Of all you know about me, would I find Dracula as a bad dad of anime? I mean, yes, but like, how bad?
I feel like
2 steps above the dude from Evangelion.
Like a 4, probably.
Yeah, the dude in Evangelion is like a hard 10 on the bad dad scale.
Yeah, Gendo is.
That's his name.
You would
pretty bad
probably
dad.
rate Endeavor like what, a 7 or 8?
Yeah, probably.
I would say Dracula's probably up there. I'd say Dracula's probably a 6 or 7. Only because what keeps him from being like a 10 is he didn't wish harm on his son specifically. He wished harm
Except
on
for
anyone
that
who
time he
opposed him.
straight up tried to murder him.
But he also could have murdered his son and he didn't.
I mean,
So
true.
I think I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah.
like he's no Yondu from freaking
Guardians of the
Guardians of the
Galaxy.
Galaxy. Yeah, but he's also,
You know what? Maybe he is, except he's less fun.
yeah,
That's the exact same vibe I get.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I love you, but equally I will fuck you up.
yeah.
There's just less one-liners and Mary Poppins jokes.
Yeah, you know, he may have not been
He's a
his
fucking
father,
vampire.
but he's his daddy. He's his Vladdy.
Oh, gosh.
And on that
right,
horrible note, we're going to end here. God damn it. I'm never going to be able to get that out of my head. I freaking hate you right now.
That's how I feel about the Game of Thrones comment.
Well, you can catch all of our shit from Content Breaker on all of your podcatchers. We're talking Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Podcasts, which is blowing up apparently, along with Twitter at Content Breaker. Also, y'all have stuff y'all want to talk about too.
Yes, you can find me at SagDreads with a Z, where I'll be doing stuff on the Twitter, and also check out Content Breaker for videos coming soon.
Yeah. You can find me at Strangely Entertaining. That's at and Strangely, and then Entertaining, and look it up on YouTube. I do series and stuff, and it's a good fun time.
Or the other product at Your Typical Shonen Protagonist. Zog, what are we talking about next week?
Oh, man. It's like that last comic fucking broke me.
It's
Metabots. We're talking Metabots.
oh shit! Yeah, it's. I was like, Fully Cooley. That's the other show.
God.
Metabots. Yeah, I have to watch 52 episodes quickly.
Have fun.
All right, we'll catch y'all. We'll catch y'all next week for more Content Breaker.
Bye.
Bye.
Hell yeah.